Taiwan gang illegally logs living trees. Taiwan labor insurance hidden debt soars. Car tax cuts boost sales opportunities. Fugitive NZ dad killed in shootout after 4 years on the run. Australian woman convicted of killing 3 with poisonous mushrooms. Air Canada flight attendants reject wage agreement. London Underground staff go on strike. 102-year-old Japanese man becomes oldest to summit Mount Fuji.
Hello, I'm Helen. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Tuesday, September 9th, International Sudoku Day, and here are your top stories. In local news, Nantou prosecutors charged again led by Taiwanese Wu Borong and Vietnamese workers for illegal logging. They seized over 1.2 tons of precious Taiwan red cypress and chemocypress worth 25 million NT dollars. The gang cut living trees, destroying vital trunks and causing severe forest damage. Taiwan's Directorate General of Budget reports that as of June, government hidden liabilities total 20.5 trillion NT dollars, with labor insurance leading at 13.56 trillion NT dollars, up 1.7 trillion NT dollars in a year. Labor Ministry assured differences in calculation methods and promises to secure workers' benefits. Taiwan's amended commodity tax took effect September 7th. Car under 1 million NT dollars get 50,000 NT dollars tax cut. Replacing 10-plus-year-old vehicles adds another 50,000 NT dollars. Domestic and imported brands like Toyota, Nissan, Lexus, and Volvo launched promotions to boost post-festival sales. And in global news, a New Zealand man who evaded authorities with his 3 children in the remote countryside for nearly 4 years was shot and killed by the police officer on Monday. The December 2021 disappearance of Tom Phillips and his children confounded investigators for years as they scoured the densely forested area where they believed the family was hiding. The family was not believed to have traveled far from the isolated North Island settlement of Maricopa, but credible sightings were rare.
There are a number of police staff who are actively looking for the children, which remains our number one priority at this stage, to find those children.
Phillips has not been formally identified, but authorities believe he was the man killed. His relatives confirmed his death to local news outlets. A police officer was shot in the head and critically injured during a confrontation with Phillips after he robbed an agricultural supplies store early Monday morning. A child with Phillips at the time of the burglary was taken into custody. The whereabouts of Phillips' other 2 children are unknown, and authorities hold serious concerns for them. Acting Detective Inspector Andrew Saunders said the child taken into custody Monday was cooperating with authorities.
An Australian woman convicted of murdering 3 elderly relatives of her estranged husband with a meal containing poisonous mushrooms was sentenced to a minimum of 33 years in prison. Erin Patterson used individual portions of beef Wellington laced with death cap mushrooms to poison her in-laws over lunch. She was found guilty in July of killing her mother-in-law, Gail Patterson, father-in-law, Donald Patterson, and Gail's sister, Heather Wilkinson, in a case that has been globally followed and dubbed the Leongatha mushrooms murders.
I'm devastated. I love them. And I can't believe that this has happened, and I'm so sorry.
A jury also found her guilty of the attempted murder of Ian Wilkinson, Heather's husband, who survived the 2023 meal at Patterson's home in Leongatha. On Monday, Justice Christopher Beale said the substantial planning of the murders and Patterson's lack of remorse meant her sentence should be lengthy. He said, "The devastating impact of your crimes is not limited to your direct victims. Your crimes have harmed a great many people." At a pre-sentencing hearing last month, Patterson's barrister, Colin Mandy, urged Beale to impose a non-parole period on the sentence, as her notorious reputation would make prison more onerous for her than for the average offender.
Air Canada flight attendants overwhelmingly rejected a wage agreement, with a bitter wage dispute now expected to be resolved through mediation, as workers cannot take further legal strike action. Flight attendants voted 99.1% against ratifying the company's wage offer. Negotiators struck a tentative deal on August 19th to end a 4-day strike that stranded 500,000 passengers after flight attendants defied Canadian government efforts to end the strike and force the carrier back to the bargaining table.
Air Canada and the Canadian Union of Public Employees agreed that no labor disruption could be initiated. Therefore, there will be no strike or lockout, and flights will continue to operate. The wage portion of the deal will be referred to mediation and, if no agreement is reached, to arbitration. The strike highlighted demands by North American flight attendants to be paid for hours from check-in to clock-out. Flight attendants at Air Canada have been challenging a compensation structure that mostly pays cabin crew only when an aircraft is in motion. Air Canada said the agreement included compensation for work performed on the ground, as well as broad improvements to wages, pensions, and benefits.
Thousands of London Underground staff on Sunday began a series of strikes over pay and conditions that threatened to shut down the subway system used by millions of people daily. The Rail, Maritime and Transport Union said its members, including drivers, signallers, and maintenance workers, will walk out at various times through Thursday. Transit operator Transport for London said services were severely disrupted on Sunday, and few or no trains are expected to run in the coming days.
The company says it has offered staff a 3.4% pay increase, but the union is holding out for a reduction in the working week from 35 to 32 hours. TfL says it cannot afford that. The union argues that the number of people working on the underground has been cut by 2,000 since 2018, leaving members strained by extreme shift patterns. No talks between the union and management are currently planned, and the union has called on Mayor Sadiq Khan to intervene to end the dispute. Severely disrupted services spurred Londoners to turn to bikes, buses and black cabs to make their way through the capital during the first working day of the strike. There were also extra foot patrols to keep high-demand areas clear and bikes available.
Kokichi Akuzawa almost gave up during his trek to become the oldest person to summit Mount Fuji at age 102, an achievement recognized by Guinness World Record after he reached the top in early August. He said in an interview, "I was really tempted to give up halfway through. Reaching the summit was tough, but my friends encouraged me and it turns out well. I managed to get through it because so many people supported me."
Akuzawa climbed with his 70-year-old daughter, his granddaughter, her husband, and 4 friends from a local mountain climbing club. The group camped for 2 nights on the trail before their August 5th ascent to the top of Japan's tallest mountain, which peaks at 12,388 feet. The trip was not Akuzawa's first record-breaking ascent of Mount Fuji. He was 96 when he first became the oldest person to scale the mountain. In the 6 years since, he has overcome heart issues, shingles, and stitches from a climbing fall. Akuzawa spent 3 months training before the Fuji climb, waking at 5 a.m. for hour-long walks and tackling roughly 1 mountain each week, mostly around Nagano Prefecture.
The answer for yesterday was C, successor. The CEO announced that his successor would take over the company next year. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Fugitive New Zealand dad killed in shootout after 4 years on the run. Number 1, enforcement. 执行, 实施. The government increased the enforcement of traffic laws to reduce accidents. Number 2, evade. 逃避, 规避. He evaded paying taxes by hiding his income. Number 3, whereabouts. 行踪, 下落. The police are trying to find out the suspect's whereabouts. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. While many believe Sudoku has ancient roots in Asia, it is actually a modern invention. In the late 1700s, Swiss mathematician Leonard Euler created a similar game called Latin squares. though it was not subdivided into 9 block grids. In 2013, the World Puzzle Federation founded International Sudoku Day to honor this unique and addictive game. And that's all for today's FUNDAY News. Be sure to tune into FUNDAY News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Helen, your host. I'll see you next time.